Good afternoon, Adam here from Aqualife Hub, just doing I guess, episode number 9 of my series on my 150 gallon reef tank. This will be a pretty short one. Obviously, I'm running a little late this week, sort of like I was last week. This whole pandemic thing is sort of throwing me off a bit, but that's okay. I figured you guys want a short update, sort of let you know what I'm planning on doing. And my last update, I discussed my 2-day blackout, which was sort of the primary focus of my discussion. And let's come look at the side where you can see more of the algae. You can decide for yourself what it looks like about a week after that blackout. So as you can tell, still plenty of algae, although I do think it looks a little bit better. It's not quite as green. You know, there's still some algae in the lowest flow parts of the tank, which is another thing I wanted to touch on briefly. But the main thing I'm planning on doing is I ordered some Vibrant, so I am going to give that a shot to see whether or not that'll help. At this point, I've been using a turkey baster to blow algae off the rocks pretty much every day. I have been manually removing algae pretty much every other day, and it's just not going to get me there. I don't think it's going to be sufficient, so I need to take a more aggressive approach. So we are going to try a Vibrant treatment, and I will keep everybody updated. I'm going to run carbon at the same time and just try my hardest to not hurt any of the fish or coral. But I do know that some people have experienced some bad outcomes. But as far as I can tell, it's the best possible way, as long as you're, I'm going to measure nitrate daily and phosphate and just sort of make sure that the levels don't skyrocket. And of course, I'll have a water change heated and standing by the entire process. So if anything spikes, we will go and change the water. So that's sort of the big thing on my list of things to do. I don't know when that Vibrant's going to come in. Ordered it off Amazon, but of course with Amazon currently deprioritizing some shipments, it could be a little bit. So I'll discuss that as soon as it comes in, and I'll keep everybody updated as to how it's going. And like I said, the other thing I was going to discuss is the flow. I do think part of my problem is that I only have these J-Bow Wavemaker, I guess they're 60s, but they're fine. You can see they have a decent amount of flow across the top of the tank, but I do think it's insufficient for this 150. Live and learn. I thought that these two would be fine for a more SPS or a more softy dominated tank. In retrospect, it's probably not true. I think that this Wavemaker back on this back wall here is pointed more towards the front of the tank, and you can tell that there's less algae in the front. I don't think that's a coincidence. So I am planning on ordering a Maxspect Gyre 350, which I'm pretty excited about. I think that that'll help part of the issue. I'm probably going to mount it over on this side, closer to the SPS up at the top, setting a sheet directly across the top of the tank. And we'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to move this one probably sort of into this back corner, and then try to shoot it across the back of this tank. Or I may just do it right here. We'll see. I'm going to be able to play with that. But I think the back half of the tank is just a little short on flow. So that is the big equipment upgrade I'm planning on doing. And I'm also going to do a battery backup on that Gyre. So right now I don't have a battery backup for my pumps, and making me a little nervous, even though we don't lose power that often. But I would still feel better with a battery backup. So I think that's about it for today. Like I said, it was a shorter episode. When the Vibrant comes in, I will definitely keep everybody updated on how it's going. I'm going to, I have Chaetomorpha down here, so I'm actually going to move the Chaetomorpha into my 40-gallon quarantine tank downstairs, move my little light with it, and hopefully that way You know, I know Vibrant has a tendency to kill Chaeto. I mean, it's sort of the point. It kills algae. So I'm going to move that downstairs, and hopefully that will help prevent killing off all my Chaeto. You know, I seeded the tank with copepods, which honestly I've not seen very many of them. I added them into the Chaeto, so my guess is a decent amount of them will end up downstairs, which is fine. You know, I want to try to keep their habitat alive, even though, like I said, I haven't really seen many. You know, I saw they were alive when I stuck them in, and just really have not seen many of them since. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and have a good week.